Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another car conversation. I'm back to talk to you about this whole icy situation again. This week in Los Angeles, Southeast Los Angeles to be exact, and I'm going to circle back to why that point is important. Homeland Security officers showed up to 2 elementary schools. Yes, you heard that right, elementary schools. So you're talking age, 10 and below. Showed up to 2 different elementary schools trying to speak to 6 children whom they claimed were, number one, they claimed that they had permission from these young children's legal guardians, which was a lie. And then they also claimed that these young children were undocumented when they came into this country. Another lie. So they did not gain access. The principals, counselors, administration at these schools said, hell no, you're not talking to the kids. They contacted the parents. The parents said, no, we didn't give anybody permission to come and talk to our kids. So now you have the icy people going to kindergartens. You have the icy people going to elementary schools. Now, I don't know if the objective was to pull these kids out, talk to these kids to see if the kids would give up the parents, or to take the kids, to lure the parents down so they could deport the parents. I don't know what the objective was. But why are we in a time in America where Homeland Security, ICE agents, whatever you want to call them, are showing up at elementary schools? These babies did nothing. These babies can do nothing on their own. They can't go in and out of a country on their own. They can't fill out any paperwork on their own. They can't even fathom probably the lie to make up to, why are we targeting elementary kids? What was that all about? So that happened this week. The superintendent of LAUSD said that he's going to stand up. A formerly undocumented immigrant himself said he's going to stand up and he's going to make sure that all the children are protected. But then I also saw just today that the state of Florida, DeSatan in Florida, has given permission or is forcing colleges and universities in Florida to allow ICE or Homeland Security on their campuses, to coordinate with Homeland Security in regards to students, them being able to come on campus and take students. We also have cases in the media, several cases actually, because we found out this week that about 75% of the people who have been sent to this prison in El Salvador are not criminals, have not committed any hardened crimes. And specifically, we also saw this week the Supreme Court say that, Felon 47 and his regime can move forward with deporting Mahmoud Khalil, a student, Columbia student. But then they also, on the flip side of that, said, I want to get his name right, Kilmar Abrego Garcia has to be brought back to the United States immediately, they said. All 9 justices. But is he here? No. Does his attorney or his family know exactly where it is that this man is healthy and alive? No. Nothing has changed since the Supreme Court has ordered them to bring him back to the U.S. So it makes people speculate and wonder, where is he? What type of condition he's in? If the worst has happened. And I don't want to put that out there because I want him to be safe. I want him to be able to come back to his family, to his child. But this is what's happening in America. We have an out gay man who is a makeup artist who has been snatched up and is sent to one of these, I'm just going to go ahead and call them concentration camps, because that's what they're about. That's where they're headed. That's what they're about. Detention center, concentration camp. That's what they're about. That's the agenda. Let me put it that way. We have a man who, in my opinion, from the information that I've received, can be no further away from a gang member than I am, or Donald Duck, or Mickey Mouse, or I don't know, a Powerpuff girl. Like, he's a gay makeup artist. Who is out in these streets killing folks? That's a gay makeup artist on that's their front, is to be a gay makeup artist. Come on. And they're basing this on what? Again, skin tone, the hue of your skin, and what type of tattoos you might have. And that's a conversation for another day, because there's a lot of us walking around here, self-included, with tattoos. So what if my tattoos didn't match up one day with whatever tattoos they have out there that they think is people get tattoos of this because they've committed some sort of crimes or they belong to this organization. I'm just really trying to illustrate to you. We don't know, with the woman that we saw about a week and a half ago get snatched up off the street. Where is she? Where is she? Do we know where she is? And again, I watched a video of these Homeland Security, icy people, whatever they're calling themselves, because some had FBI jackets on, some had Homeland on, But at the end of the day, none of these people look like, to me, in my opinion, because I've been around a lot of officers in my time, they don't look like anybody who is trained to do any kind of law enforcement. Whether that's a pot belly, or the t-shirts they got on, or the American flag bandanas wrapped around their faces. I really feel like we need to be questioning who these people are. I feel like we got a lot of volunteer vigilantes mixed in with, and trying to learn some shit, on the go from a few officers that might be mixed into the bunch. And is that legal? So they're going to elementary schools now. Florida has just given permission for them to go on college campuses. So any red state, if you live in a red state, that's coming to you. That is coming to you very quickly, very soon. Going after people who just wrote an op-ed, who just wrote an article in their school newspaper, who just organized protests, who spoke up about something they feel strongly about. They didn't scale the Capitol. They're not scaling the buildings on these college campuses. They're not smearing shit everywhere. I saw a protest in New York where people, and I'm saying that they are Israeli because they showed the Israel flag before they threw shit out of a window onto a car and it broke the windshield. Now, it could have been the bottles of water that they were throwing as well, but they were throwing animal feces out of a window. And y'all want to compare that? Y'all want to say these college kids protesting on campuses are the problem? Y'all want to say that these little elementary kids are the problem? Understand, this is a very slippery slope. A very slippery slope to any American can get it. Anybody with a tattoo can get it. Anybody who says anything against the Felon 47 regime can get it. They can come snatch your ass up too. If we do not push back on all of these issues to where it cannot be pushed back anymore, the next person could be you, or your family member, or your loved one, or your partner, or your coworker, or your neighbor, or the person you see at the grocery store every time you go, the person that works at that bakery every time you go, the person that you run on the treadmill next to every morning could be the next person. And they're American. Felon 47 has already floated this, snatching up Americans Do y'all not understand how dire this situation is? They can disappear your ass in a minute and refuse to bring you back.